Hi everyone, it's Sunflower Spirit here, and I thought I'd just do a reading for the general collective for the weekend energy. So let's just see what kind of weekend energy we have for the weekend of the January 12th and 13th, please, 2019. So what messages, universe, do you have for the general collective for this weekend? I hope everyone's having a great weekend so far. Whoa! Cards are going everywhere. What's going on with you guys? No, I'm just joking. Alright. Alright. What is happening? I can't hold on to these cards today for the life of me. Alright. Okay, so we have the Nine of Wands. Whoa, that is too many. But the Nine of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups showed themselves to me. We have the Six of Wands. Goodness gracious. I cannot hold on to these cards. They're ready to come out, man. All right. So we have, all right. So I have the Nine of Wands. So it looks like what I'm seeing here is that somebody's really trying to make a decision about the past. They're really kind of doing a self-assessment to see to see if their actions or, how they talk to someone, how they behave towards someone or some situation um, was, if they did everything they could, if they did it with integrity. And, but I do see someone's feeling a little guarded about this. There is a victory, there is success, but somebody's clinging to something and they may not be that honest. Um, at the bottom of the deck, I have the Hierophant. So this is kind of about personal growth development. It's kind of finding stability within yourself with what your values are, what you believe in, kind of like how you see the world and what your kind of ethical lens looks like. Let's go ahead and clarify all of these so we can kind of get a bigger picture. It looks like in the course of this self-development, um, you know, that's why the Judgment card is here. Somebody's really looking at like, did I act the way that I want to be? Is this the kind of person I want to be? Is this the kind of person that, I want to be moving forward? But let's see. So yeah, somebody's feeling kind of guarded and defensive. They do feel like they've had success. I don't know if this is for you or for somebody you're dealing with, but somebody's had success with their self-expression and being able to express themselves, but they're still kind of clinging to something. And I think whoever this is, because we have the Wheel of Fortune here, like, that um, this is already kind of like a fated thing. It's about change. It's about, divine timing. But for some reason, you're clinging onto something that is, not really serving you. Yeah, you're not being honest. I don't think you're being honest with yourself. Because we have the Judgment card again. So it's kind of like you really, really need to take the time to assess for yourself. Like, have you, um, have you really acted with integrity? Is this the person that you want to be? Are you growing and becoming the person you want to be? Are your values aligning, with your actions? And with the we do have the judgment card here with the Two of Cups. So I feel like this has to do with some sort of relationship. I feel like there's a relationship here. Maybe it's a relationship that you're kind of like clinging onto. You're kind of like clinging onto, knowing that like there are some changes that are happening. There's you're gonna have to surrender to fate, to divine timing. And things are gonna happen, but maybe not in the way or in the time frame that you necessarily wanted. We have the Hermit at the bottom of the card. So yeah, it's like somebody is going through these changes, like developing spiritually, developing emotionally. Um, and I feel like with the Emperor here, with the Nine of Wands, it's like somebody's trying to control this. It's kind of like a similar energy, trying to control it with clinging to it. However, this is all like this is not being honest. This is not being true. And I think whoever this is resonating for knows this because um with this, it looks like with this spiritual work that you have done, that you have completed, it is it's like I said before, your actions aren't aligning with your values. And so it's kind of causing you to go into this hermit. Like this is kind of like self-healing. It's soul searching. It is about, kind of trying to figure yourself out, figure it all out, figure out where you stand in life, where you stand with your values. And this is dealing with a relationship. Somebody's trying to assess, but they're not being honest with themselves. So if we're not going to be honest with ourselves, it's not really going to do any good to assess. You know what I mean? So let's take this. Let's just break it down even further. I'll just do another line. Um, and we'll just kind of get like the best picture we can. The Chariot came out. Whoa. We have the Sun, the Six of Pentacles. Oh, and here's one. We have the Queen of Swords, and we have the Seven of Cups. All right. So yeah, somebody's been going through these changes themselves. You're feeling guarded, feeling like you need to control because you're wanting to move forward towards your goals. You're wanting to move towards your goals and your dreams. You're wanting to be successful with that and have success with self-expression. You're wanting to kind of just have it all, have the happiness, the abundance, the harmony in your life. But you're still holding on to something, and I think you know that this is things are changing. Things are changing, and this is kind of like trusting in the universe. This is like trusting the universe, trusting that things are going to change, but I don't really see you trusting here. I see you trying to control, um, trying to hold on to stuff, and it looks like, you really need that balance. You need to balance yourself out right now. You need to realize your stability both in, the material world and in the spiritual world. Because right now, it looks like either you are lying or maybe somebody else has been lying to you and maybe you know this. Because we do have the Queen of Swords here. And the Queen of Swords, she's very strong and determined. She has a lot of life experience and she's going to use the life experience that she has um, specifically for the wisdom to move forward, the wisdom to determine, what she needs to cut out of her life and what she will keep in her life. And so I feel like maybe with the Seven of Swords here, I feel like maybe this is it's some sort of deceit about this decision about the past that you're trying to make. Either you have been lying, maybe you've been lying to yourself, and maybe somebody has been lying to you. But this is regarding a partnership. This is regarding a partnership. And you going back and trying to assess this um, has been kind of confusing. It's been overwhelming. It's been, really emotionally overwhelming. You're not really sure. And I feel like it has to do with this. Like, either you've been lying to yourself, or maybe like your partner's been lying to you, or whoever you're dealing with has been lying to you. And this could go, I mean, it could go either way. It could be vice versa, or it could be both. I feel like maybe it's a little bit of both. Um, but it looks like, I don't know why you're so confused, because here's what I'm going to show you. Um, while I do understand that this whole process is very overwhelming, and it's even overwhelming just to kind of work on yourself, what I'm seeing here is that with with you going back to kind of assess, if your actions are aligning with your values, it's I do see a lot of positive. It looks like, you're kind of wanting to move forward. You feel like, you are successful. It feels like you've had a lot of successes. It feels like you've been able to express yourself freely. And it feels like, you have had good times, and you have had um, peace and harmony in your life. It looks like you kind of want more of that. Um, But I think with the judgment card, the judgment is all about like self-compassion. It's kind of realizing that, like, you know, in the past we might have been a little bit different, because we're always kind of constantly growing and changing and developing. And, our experiences are kind of going to teach us things, and we're always going to have, we're always going to know more like now than we did, a year ago or a month ago or 5 minutes ago, just because we have that much more life experience. And so this is kind of like self-compassion. It's like, um, I did the best that I could under the circumstances. Maybe I'm not proud of some things that I did, but I have I have learned from those, and I'm choosing to move forward. And that's kind of what like the judgment is about. It's kind of like have you ever heard that term, failing upwards? It's like we're all going to make mistakes in life, but we really just have to, learn from them and kind of leave the rest of the stuff in the past, and not really dwell on the things that could have gone better. I mean, we always say could have, but you have to go from where you are, which is right now, and you can't, um, you can determine, and that's what the judgment card is about. It's about, like, you can determine that maybe you didn't act with the most integrity 5 years ago or something, and maybe there was a situation that you wish you would have handled differently, but it's kind of like now's the opportunity. Now's your opportunity to say, okay, well, what can I learn from this? And how can I live with myself now? What are my values now? And kind of move forward from that. And so you don't really need to be in this energy of lying to yourself. You could be totally honest. You could say, yeah, I didn't act with integrity, and I'm not proud of those decisions that I made. But you can say, you know what, I'm going to learn from it, and if a similar situation should ever arise, I'm not going to go down that road again. I'm going to do something different. And so that's kind of what judgment is about. And especially with you um, doing all this spiritual growth and development, it's like, yeah, it's like that's what it's kind of all about. And so, yeah, I think with the hermit here, it's good to go inside and focus on, you know, the things. Where does your light come from? What are your values? Um, what is your ethical lens like? How do you want to be as a person? So let's see what we have at the bottom of this deck. We have the King of Swords. So yeah, that's kind of, again, with the King and Queen of Swords, it's kind of like the King of Swords is he's very intelligent, he's very strong and determined. He is he's going to stand strong, he's going to stand his ground, and he's going to really rely on his intelligence and his inner wisdom to guide him, and he's going to make, a really good logical decision. And so that's kind of what I was just talking about with with the Judgment card. So it's kind of being the King and Queen of Swords, and realizing that, like, you don't need, I mean, I know it's emotionally overwhelming, but you don't need to really, um, I don't know, grasp onto all those emotions. It's more about just determining for yourself, like, what is your truth? What is your truth? And usually, this kind of emotional overwhelm, this confusion kind of goes away once you discover, like, oh yeah, I know my truth. I know who I am. I know who I want to be moving forward. So yeah, this is a lot a lot. Um, but I do think it looks really good. I think there's a lot of positive things here, and it's a journey. It's a journey. We all go through stuff like this. This is totally typical human experience to go through stuff like this. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I will talk to you guys later.